probably haven't been further out of my comfort zone since then in terms of coming to an event like this, because Mary's Meals doesn't normally take place in very glamorous situations. We're working in places like South Sudan during the war there. We're working in the slums of Haiti. We're working with the semi-nomadic people of northern Kenya. Places where the media spotlight doesn't stay for very long. And our work is a very, very simple one. It's all about just providing one good meal every day in a place of education for the world's poorest children. In that way, we meet the immediate need of the hungry child for food, but we enable them to come into the classroom where they can gain that education that sets them free. And we see that over and over again. Children who've been working to survive, who've been begging to put the next meal on the table, who've been doing whatever they need to do to eat. This simple serving of the meal through local communities with local food changes their lives, transforms their lives. I know many people who are now young adults, people who are in further education at university, people who've started small businesses, people in paid employment who tell us, I never would have gone to school without Mary's Meals. I might not be alive today without Mary's Meals. We talk about peace. I've heard so many beautiful examples this evening of people working in different ways to build peace. I don't think we can really build peace in this world when 54 million children just today are out of school because of hunger. And so that's where we begin with this mission, at the very basics, giving every single child, please God, the chance to come to school and learn. But back in 2010 at that event, with Emmett Jerry, I think we were feeding about 400,000 children a day at that point, which was amazing enough. As you've just heard, now we're feeding over 1.6 million children every day in 18 different countries. And Gerard Butler has just played this enormous part in that wonderful story of growth. He's in some ways become the voice of Mary's Meals. And he's become the voice too of those children who I'm talking about, children who are so often without a voice. And I think when Jerry is that voice, it's authentic. It's an authentic voice. He made it his business, as you saw, to come with me, to spend time in those communities in places like Liberia and Haiti. He made time to get to know those children that we serve, to get to know their parents, the volunteers who cook the meals. He learned their names. He learned about their lives. He learned about their dreams. And so he talks with an authentic voice. Jerry's a man with a huge heart, and he's changed lots of lives. He's changed my life in some ways as well, and I'm thinking tonight of all those thousands of children who are eating around the world because of what he's been doing for us. They'll be thrilled too that Jerry's been honoured in this way, and I certainly am. So I want to thank Cinema for Peace for all they're doing, for making this possible, for supporting Mary's Meals in this new way, because wherever we're working, we have children waiting, schools waiting for us to begin. So I thank you, and I just thank Jerry so much for what he's done, and it's such a thrill to be able to give him this. Thank you.
So much. Thank you, Cinema for Peace Foundation, for recognising Mary's Meals. This is the little engine that started in a hut in the Highlands of Scotland, feeding 200 children a day in Malawi, and now feeding almost 1.7 million children a day in 18 countries around the world. with 85,000 volunteers. And you were saying, you don't know how he does it so cheap. And it's such a simple program, but such a genius program, because they get the communities involved as well. That's why we have 5,000 volunteers. We do transportation and storage and preparation. So the whole community gets involved. So every school and community that Mary's Meals goes to, I can't even tell you the impact having been there, and the difference between those communities and ones where Mary's Meals isn't at. There's so much pride, there's so much integrity, and Mary's Meals always made a point of making sure that there was local ownership and self-empowerment, and so it's been beautiful in that way. And for that reason, as well, it can cut the costs and make it so efficient and feed a child for literally $20 a year. So there's loads of scope, but there's always space for more money and more boots on the ground. I just want to say, for me, my mom used to talk about Magnus. It made me sick. She was like, "Oh, he's so wonderful, this man. I went to see him speak. He has a beautiful heart, and he's doing such good in the world and for humanity." And then coincidentally, I ended up introducing him in the clip you saw at the CNN Awards. And when I saw the clip of Mary's Meals and then met Magnus, I knew my life was going to change, because I felt just such purity and love and compassion for others that we do not know coming from this man, and it just made me want to get involved. And actually, I don't quite have Vanessa Redgrave's awards, but I had a few, but they all burned in the fire last year in Malibu, and this is the only award I have now. It actually is quite fire. This is an example of what these kids give you, because actually I lost my house in that fire, and then I did a fundraiser 5 days later, and next morning broke up in my relationship. It was like basically the worst week of my fucking life. And that morning I had to fly to Haiti, and I went there kind of feeling sorry for myself. And then I sat with kids who eat soil at times and don't eat for days, and have to walk miles to school, and they still turn up with their crisp, clean shirts, with their hair perfect, because they care so much about their education. And I kind of thought, what the hell am I worried about in my life? It was such a surprising and beautiful therapy for me, the way they meet, in tragedy and challenge, with such courage and humility. And it was very powerful to experience that. So I just want to say, Magnus, it's been a joy walking this path with you. You're my brother from another mother. You're one of the few people that can get me to wear a kilt. I would auction off this, but it's actually a rental that Magnus picked up for me in Scotland yesterday, when this man said, "It'd be a great idea if you wore a kilt." And so Magnus loved it from Scotland and dropped it off in my hotel room this morning. So I think I might get in trouble if I sell it. And I don't think I would raise anywhere near as much money as wonderful. By the way, Vanessa, you're my hero. I love you. I made a movie with Vanessa. You're the most amazing woman. This night has been full of the most incredible people. I've been inspired, terrified, impressed, moved, and provoked in so many ways. So thank you for letting me be a part of this. And I've been trying to go to the restroom for the last 50 minutes, and I kept thinking I was mixed up. So now I really need to go to the restroom. Okay, thank you so much.